Hello, Challisball fans, and welcome to this special presentation. My name is Bo, and today I'm going to be essentially taking you through a game of Challisball. So what we're going to do as the players get ready here, I'm going to explain the rules of Challisball, and then we're going to have a look at an actual game that these guys are going to be playing. We see Owen running up. Owen's going to be not our commentator. He's going to be our umpire for this quarter. It's going to be probably just one quarter of a Challisball game. In a normal game, there's actually four 20-minute quarters, and so what we're seeing here now is just one quarter of the full game. Now, in Challisball, it is very, very similar to AFL in a few ways, in that, like AFL, Challisball has marks. So, like in AFL, when a player kicks a ball and you mark it, you gain possession and the play sort of stops, and you are allowed to go back and have a shot as we see things get underway with Wes. With a nice throw there. The only difference, as you can see, as the plays get started, is you throw the ball instead of kicking it. So when you mark the ball, you go back and the opposition player stands on the mark with their hands in the air, and you throw the ball instead of kicking it. Now, like AFL, you have to throw it a certain distance for it to be paid as a mark. In AFL, it's 15 metres. In Challisball, because the skill to be able to throw long distances is hard, it's only 7 metres. You need to throw the ball at least 7 metres, as we see Isaac just missed a goal there early in the quarter. You have to throw it at least 7 metres to be able to be paid a mark. Now, when you have possession, if you throw an underarm ball or use two hands, it'll be called play on. And like AFL, you play on means you can run around, as we see Luke catch a brilliant long pass there, passes to me, and I shoot a really, really easy goal. Really good play there. If you throw it underarm or two-handed, that's play on, and so you need to essentially, run and avoid tackles. Now, in Challisball at the moment, to tackle someone, it's like touch football, touch rugby. All you need to do is touch them, and that's classified as a tackle. Now, when you're tackled, the ball is turned over. So if you're running around, and hopefully we'll see it sometime soon, if you run around and you're touched, the ball is turned over. As we see David just pass there, small passes, back to David again. And another way you can turn over the ball is essentially if the ball touches the ground. Now in AFL, if the ball touches the ground and it's play on, anyone can go for the ball. There's no mark, and it's just it's a bit of a tussle to see who gets the ball. In Challisball, it's a bit different. If the ball ever touches the ground, it's more like ultimate frisbee, where there's a turnover, and that happens anytime the team in possession loses the ball. So in this case, Wes has got the ball, he's on the vests, so the people with the vests have to maintain the ball. And see, unfortunately, Rachel dropped the ball there, so that is a turnover. Now, if an opposition player deflects the ball, even though it comes off them, it's still a turnover against the team who had possession, as there's a nice little tip into goal there by myself. For a pretty epic goal there. Now, when there's a goal, the ball goes back to the centre of the field, and then it goes to the opposition team, which is a little bit like soccer. So this game has a number of different games, sort of all kind of amalgamated into one game. So there's a sort of touch of rules from here, there, and everywhere. So, like I was saying, say the vests have the ball, as Pete goes back to the centre to restart for the high-vis vest team. If they ever lose possession because one of the plain shirts knock it out, even though the plain shirt knocked it, the vests lost possession of the ball and they lose it. Just like that, Michelle, in the plain top, as in not a vest, touched Isaac when it was a play on, and she wins the ball. And so now she gets to restart, and unfortunately throws it a little bit to the left there of Luke and is unable to get a mark there. So the ball's turnover again, so now Rach has the ball. Now Rach passes backwards, back to Dave, passes back to Rach, passes wide to Pete, who then takes the mark and does a short pass to Wes. Wes, good mark there. He's going to hold things up a little bit and take a few steps back. Throw some grass up in the air just to check the wind, and then a nice long pass out to Pete again. And Pete's weighing up his options. What's he going to do? Passes it inboard, and Dave takes a mark, who then throws, and I'm not sure if that was a goal. I think it may have gone under, so that's no goal. So Luke, in the red shirt there, he's going to go back, and anytime the ball is missed and goes over the baseline of either goals, the player of the other team will restart in front of the goals. And so we see Luke do that now. He's trying to weigh up his options from way back in defence. Pops it over to Jack, who marks it midfield, plays on, goes to Dave Jones, who takes a good mark and waits for all his team members to arrive. I think he may have just copped an errant arm there by a member of the opposite team. And I think maybe got a 10-metre penalty. And throws, I should say, a lovely goal. Now, in Challisball, if there are any gross breaches of the rules, players will be penalised a 10-metre penalty, like in AFL, although it's not full 50 metres, because that would probably take you 2 lengths of the field. In this case, it's only 10 metres, and that's enough for Dave to shoot a pretty easy goal. So, as we wait for players to restart the game, there's one more rule in Challisball we need to cover quickly, and that is called interference. Now, because it's so easy to turn over the ball as a defender, because all you need to do is bat the ball away, if ever you make contact with a offensive player and you don't go for the ball, the umpire can call interference. And what that means is you interfered with the player without trying to go for the ball, and you will be awarded a free throw. And as we see John make a substitution for the Vests team, we have Michelle, who's deep in attack, trying to pass back to Dave Jones, who marks it very nicely, only about 7 metres in front of goal. Oh no, in fact I think it may have grounded there. Wes has got the ball, passes back in defence to Bo, who's going to play on and then throw into the centre field and miss Rach by just a couple of metres there, so that's another turnover. Dave Jones has the ball in midfield. He passes forward quickly to Luke, who marks. He's going to take a few steps back and wait for troops to arrive. He's going to maybe go for goal. No, passes wide to... almost gets it to full forward to Michelle, but Dave Ryan just cuts it off there, and he's going to go back and restart for the Vests. Unfortunately for him, Rach was unable to mark that, so it's another pressure situation for the Vests, as Jack now has the ball, passes right in close to goal, and Michelle again nearly had a great offensive mark there, just wasn't able to hang on to the ball, and I believe Dave is going to start off things for the Vests again. Passes to Bo Challis, who is very, very bad there, and drops the ball. And again, the Plains have another offensive opportunity, but waste it as they try to throw into the central offensive field. And Dave, who's going to be our defensive start man, tries to throw it wide to John, who's a bit sort of... Well, I think it was facing the wrong way there and missed the mark, so Luke is he's going back, and I think he's going to have a shot on goal here. Sets himself, throws, and misses just underneath the crossbar there. And as you can see, the Challisball goals, the players are aiming for these small rectangular goals that are elevated in the air. So if the ball goes underneath that bottom crossbar, it's not a goal. There's only a metre by a metre and a half square, rectangle I should say, that the players need to hit to get a goal. As Isaac passes the in ball to Bo there, who's going to weigh things up and pass it forward, central down the field to Dave, they're making good progress forward, passes wide to Bo again, who's going to go back. The Vests need to run around a little bit. Isaac makes a move and marks the ball very well, and he's going to pass forward to the defensive part of the field, but unfortunately Luke was well enough in defence to bat that down and regain possession for the Vests, for the Plains, sorry. Passes to Anthony, who's the defensive man for the Plains team, passes it long to a long contested ball, and that's off hands and on the ground. So even though a Vests may have touched it then, it will go to the Vests team because the Plains did not maintain possession. So Dave's going to restart things from his defensive position, and he's going to pass forward. Good mark there by Tony. Underarm plays on, And Isaac, I don't know what happened there, but the Vests have got the ball. Rachel marks the ball in centre field. It's going to pass it forward to Bo. Another nice mark forward to John. Oh, he was in a great offensive position. Couldn't hang on, so Jack is going to restart from defense. Quickly plays on. He's running forward. He has Luke on his outside and passes. Oh, he passed it off. Tried to get a nice little rugby pass off to Luke there, but a bit inaccurate there with the pass. Now John's got the ball in centre field, and nice pass forward to Wes, who marks it straight in front of goal. And oh, Tony's knocked the ball out there. I don't think the umpire picked up on that one, so I think he may have just got away with not giving away a 10-metre penalty. But Wes has the ball right in front, and easy as that, gets another goal for the Vests. So unfortunately, we don't have a score update because, as I said, this is just one quarter. I believe this may even be the final quarter of the match, and so the scores are unavailable to us. Although in this quarter, I think it's about 3-2 to the Vests at the moment. I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and have a look at that again. But since that's a Vests goal, we're going to have the Plains restart as Owen, the umpire, gives it back to Luke, who then throws backwards to Tony, who marks. Tony's going to weigh things up, throw it to Michelle. Good pass there. Michelle over in right field. He's going to pass back to Tony, try and give him a few more options. Back to Michelle. Good moving of the ball there. Michelle's going to move forward now and pass to Pete, who was unfortunately cut off by Dave with the Vests. So that is a turnover. He should pick up the ball quickly. Now he's got Bo over to the right there, and John next to him who are free, and Isaac are all in defensive field, but he passes forward anyway. Passes to, Rachel, who unfortunately cops it in the face. That was a very unlucky missed mark there. But Dave picks up a nice little interception there, passes forward. Anthony picks off that ball in defense, who immediately goes for a big, long throw. And Luke is there, and just puts it down. He was, if he marked that, he would have had an open goal in front of him. Unfortunately, puts down the ball, and that's going to be a turnover. Gives it off to Bo, who's deep in defence, needs to look for options. There's one, finds Wes in right field, who switches field back to John. Now John has to go back. Oh, there's a short pass there. Back to John again. That's play on that wasn't 7. Passes the ball. Marked there by Dave. He's going to cross to the other side of the field to Rach. And that was just a bit too much pepper on that one. She's unable to hang on. So that's over to the plain shirts. Tony has the ball now. Now he needs to look up. He's got Pete in midfield. No one on him. He's going to pass to Dave Jones. Nice mark there. He's got Pete and Jack there in front of him. Decides to go to Luke. Now Luke has an open goal. And shoots and scores. Now it's a bit hard to tell whether there's goal now because there's no nets on the back of the goal. But I believe that was a goal. So well done, Luke there. Sharp shooting. Another goal for the Plains. As we hear a random siren in the background, which is not a Challisball siren. That is some game played somewhere nearby. So good goal there by Luke. I believe that was his second. No, he missed the last one. So that's one goal for Bo as the Vests restart the game. Isaac's got the ball in centre, passes to Bo, marks, plays on. He's got to get rid of the ball. Passes off to Wes. Wes quickly into the centre of field, back to Isaac. Quick pass off. Jack intercepts and is immediately away. He's running. There's no one near him. He needs to pass soon. That's a miss. He eventually passes in ball to Pete, who marks the ball and immediately throws to Luke, who's right in front of goal. And that is the second goal for Luke in a couple of minutes. There's a good offensive run there by Jack, luring a lot of the Vests players to him, opening up the centre of the field for another plain shirt player to easily mark the ball. And Luke nearly getting hit on the head by a ball being thrown back into the centre. Very lucky not to get hit in the head there. So we have a very nice quarter starting to develop here. I think the plain shirts are starting to just dominate as we have some illegal vest stealing on the court. Players randomly changing teams just because they can, because that's what it is. That's what Challisball is about. Randomly changing teams and having fun. So we have the Vests restart. Isaac passes the ball forward to Bo, who marks the ball, goes back and passes short again to Isaac, who I believe is going to go back and have a shot. So he steadies himself, shoots, and scores. That's a great goal there after a quick restart. Good long-range effort there by Isaac. Usually a lot of goals happen at a close range, so it's good to see some long-range efforts happen. Unfortunately, it's not 3 points like basketball. It's still only 1 point, but a good goal nonetheless. As we have play restarted here with Tony, passes wide to John. No, I think that was an illegal restart, so we'll try that again. Oh, John, he was on the wrong side of the court. I think that's what the problem was. He was on the wrong side of the field to begin. But now Luke has the ball, and he's going to pass forward to Dave Jones, who quickly goes forward, and unfortunately intercepted there by Isaac, who has changed teams. Passes to Bo, who looks up, steadies, and passes back to Isaac. Immediately forward, and finds, who's that in the distance? I cannot see who that is, but they pass wide to Wes. Oh, that was Jack. Sorry, that was Jack who was in the changed vest. That's why I couldn't identify him. Passes back to Bo. Back into Wes. He's inboard again. He's going to slow things up a little bit. I think he's too far out to shoot from here. So I'm not sure what... No, he's going to have a shot. No, he's looking around. I think he's going to go wide to Bo again, who's in deep left field. And an in ball there to Isaac, but well batted away by Pete Challis for the Plain team. So that'll be a Plain ball, which I believe was, happened more in ball central field than that. So Luke's going to restart from defensive centre, and he's looking for some options and goes long. That is a huge ball, and Anthony on his knees, diving for the ball, unable to come up with the goods. That was a great knee sliding effort though, and Wes is going to pass to Jack, who quickly moves forward. It's now with Rachel, who's in deep right field. Centres the ball, and I think Luke, with the Plains, has battered that down. So he's going to restart in defence, and he's going to pass forward to Tony, who was unmarked in offence. Oh, but lucky for the Vest, Dave was there to tag him, so that is a turnover. Now Dave has the ball deep in defence. He's going to pass very slow to Wes. Passes down the line to Jack, who's quickly away in offence. He could probably have a shot here. Does have a shot, and... misses. I think he misses. He went over the crossbar there. He had a great opportunity. Running forward, he was unmanned. He was goal side with the ball, and unfortunately puts it over the goals. So now the Plains are going to restart after that great quick a counter move, not counter attack. So Luke has it in defence, who is now the Plains defensive man. Passes straight up the guts to Pete, who makes a good mark. Looking around for some options there. Passes back to Luke, who's come up the field fairly quickly. Now he's got a few plays in front of him, a few options. He's going to pass to Dave, who's in the centre again. 3 passes straight up the guts for a shot on goal and goals. The Vests need to close up on the centre field there. A bit too open there. They had the wings covered, but the centre of the field was gaping open as Isaac nearly cops it in the head as well. So the Vests here need to communicate a little bit better and shut down this effective quick running by the Plain shirts as they transition from defense into offense. And Isaac here is going to restart things for the Vests as we have an umpire change. Bo is going to be the umpire now. I think Owen is now on the Vest. There he is. He makes a good mark. It's going to go play backwards now to Dave, which is a dangerous move because, like I said, if a ball grounds, that is a turnover. So you need to be careful going backwards. Wes passes back to Dave, who's immediately off. Passes wide to Isaac. We now have a good running game. Isaac's going to pass central field again, and unfortunately the ball didn't quite make it back again. So we're going to have a turnover. And oh no, with 3 players for the Plains who were in offense. All the Vests ran forward in that offensive move. Unfortunately didn't leave any people back for defense, and there were 3 players for the Plains there ready to pick off that counter attack, and Michelle there to finish that one off. So again, the Vests, just a lack of little bit of a breakdown in defense there, as we have Owen restarting for the Vests. So they're going to have to pick up their game a bit as an underarm ball, I should say, starts the play there. Another underarm play on, and unfortunately for Wes, was tagged with those constant underarm balls. The ball is play on when it's underarm. So they'll probably need to do a little bit more overarm marking ball with that many defensive players that close. So we're going to have Tony Nice long throw. He's going to mark out. He's going to pick out Luke there. Passes to Pete, who was looking the wrong way and didn't quite stop in time to pick up that one. So Rach is going to start. Rachel Pemberton is going to start for the Vests. Deep in defence for the high-vis Vest team. And as we see a dog in the background, she's going to pass to Isaac. Nice mark. He's going to pass wide to Owen, who's quickly away for an underarm. Now we have 3 players in offence for the Vests. 3 players there, and the ball is put down. So that great offensive move, that great quick movement is undone by some slippery hands there. As we have Pete restarting for the Plains. And Luke there with a good mark, way over in the left field in defence for the Plains. Another massive long pass, probably worth it since there was no one in front of Anthony to move forward there, but unfortunately dropped it as Wes counter-attacks. He's got one player near him, and I think that's a mark. Davey's going to have a nice easy shot and make another goal for the Vest. So again, another counter-attack there. The long ball didn't quite pay off there for the Plains, and Wes was able to make a quick counter to Dave for the Vests, and a nice goal there. So the Vests are coming back, but I think they still have the lead by a goal here, as we have Anthony now restarting for the Plains, as Wes, a bit slow there on the uptake, needs to get back on his side, as now Pete has the ball, passes forward to Anthony, on his knees again. He loves the knees. Now he could probably have a shot here or go wide, as he does. Back to Dave Jones, who's now in a defensive position. He's going to try and pick out a play and gets Anthony again. The two of them working well together. And he's going to go back and have a shot on goal. He shoots. And goals. Well done, Anthony. Another one there for the Plains. So the Plains, it's getting another goal away from the Vests here. As Tony and Dave do a little 1-2 there and set up a nice goal. Sometimes in Challisball it is a good idea to pass backwards and just, lure the defensive players in and try and open up some scoring opportunities for your fellow players to move forward without a player on them. As Owen starts, he's going to, thinking about an underarm. He is going to go with an underarm, so Isaac's in pressure straight away. Quick pass there, back to Owen. Another quick pass to Wes in the left field. He's going to run immediately and keep running. He's running backwards now. Still running. No one anywhere near him. Running backwards now. I think he's just mucking around. He needs to pass soon. Does. Got 7 seconds left. One more opportunity for the Vests. Shoot. He needs to shoot. There's only 5 seconds and he misses. Well, he had the last opportunity there to shoot. There was only 5 seconds left. And unfortunately for Owen and the Vests, that last chance went begging as a random soccer ball comes onto the field. Unfortunately, that is the wrong sport. We are playing Challisball, not soccer. And that is the end of the game. So well done. I believe the Plain Shirts in the end won that game as we finish our roll of tape there. So well done to the Plain Shirts. I believe now we're going to go down to the court and we're going to hear from the captains of the respective teams.
So, Wesley,
yeah,
it was a well-fought game, but unfortunately couldn't quite get there. What were your thoughts on the game?
Pretty good, actually. I like Challisball. I think it's not as fast-paced as, it is as soccer, but he's not running. There's heaps of turnovers. You've got time to rest. You can recover. Re-get your strategy together, which is good. Yeah,
any particular parts of the game, your team, you think you need to work on to improve for the next game?
I think more communication is good. I mean, me and Dave Bryden had times where we were both running for the ball, but we didn't communicate, so one of us could have had a better shot, but the other one got it instead and dropped it, so, can't really...
And you personally had a good run around in the last few seconds there. What were you trying to achieve with that run?
Well, there's so much space here. I feel like, especially on the wings here, this is quite a lot of unused space, and I was personally feeling a bit, I had a lot of energy reserves left, so I wanted to give it a go. And I had a good throw to Isaac in the end, but Owen just couldn't make it. So with all those people going for glory, I guess that's Jesus' task to go for glory, isn't it, Bo?
Great game, Wes.
All right, thanks, Bo. Excellent. Good stuff.
Well, Luke, that was a well-fought victory. The Plains got there in the end. What were your thoughts on the game?
Lots of fun. Could have used some footy boots. It was a bit slippery. Bit of preparation prevents, the old 5 Ps, but it was lots of good fun.
Yeah. Did you have any sort of team structure coming into the game? Anything you feel gave your team the edge in the end?
I think at the end it just came down to the fact that we were better shots on goal. They kind of fluffed a lot of opportunities, and we were gracious and laughed at that, so it was good. But yeah, I think that was the deciding factor.
You're the reigning champions with Challisball so far. Are there any parts of your game that you think your team need to work on to improve for next game?
Probably catching, and probably some better short game. We kind of relied on the long ball a lot, so yeah, I think that's something. Ball almost hit the barbecue. Yeah, so I think that's what we need to work on for next time.
Great. Well done with the victory.
Thank you.
Enjoy your win.
Thank you.